Welcome to Grace for Today. My name is Nick Swan, and I'm the assistant pastor at Grace Presbyterian Church. And Grace for Today is a series of devotions meant to encourage us from God's Word in the midst of sheltering in place. We've been alternating in the brief series now between classic hymns and psalms from the book of Psalms in the Bible. And this morning we have Psalm 63, which is a psalm of David. Now, to give you a little bit of context on this psalm, David has just been driven from Jerusalem, from the presence of the temple, because his son Absalom has betrayed him and taken the throne. And so David writes this psalm, and he's longing to be in the presence of God. He's thirsting to be in the presence of God. So let me read the first 4 verses together. O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you, and my flesh faints for you, as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. So I have looked upon you in the sanctuary, beholding your power and glory. Because your steadfast love is better than life, my lips will praise you. So I will bless you as long as I live. In your name I will lift up my hands. So David is unable to gather in the temple to worship God, and he's longing for that experience. I know many of us are feeling the exact same way. It's one of the reasons why I'm filming this Grace for Today in the sanctuary, in front of the Lord's table, because we are longing as God's people to gather together to worship and to celebrate the sacraments together. And so David knows that experience, but here's the good news. Listen to what he says in verses 5 through 8. So even though he wants to be in the temple, God is not limited by a physical place. My soul will be satisfied as with fat and rich food, and my mouth will praise you with joyful lips, when I remember you upon my bed and meditate on you in the watches of the night. For you have been my help, and in the shadow of your wings I will sing for joy. My soul clings to you, and your right hand upholds me. So even in the midst of being far from the place of worship and in the wilderness, God meets him there and satisfies him there, and he protects him there. And so as you long to be with others, to worship, to be gathered, be reminded, yes, it is a good and glorious thing to gather as God's people, and I cannot wait for that day when we can finally gather together again. But in the midst of this suffering, in the midst of this absence, in the midst of fasting from worshiping together, be reminded that God can meet us even in the wilderness and satisfy our deepest longings and desires. Just a reminder to listen to the hymn, Come Thou Fount, which can be found at the bottom of the email. We will be singing this together on Sunday. And this is Grace for Today.